morning, everybody. It's Laura again with Healing with Spirit. Happy Wednesday. It's July 29th, and we're going to take this in a little different direction today. And I'm hoping I do see your comments today since I wasn't able to the other day. We have, where did it go? Oh no. We have the Sorcerer, and the card disappeared. Here we go. Here's the Sorcerer. And so one of the things I wanted to share with you today was not only the Sorcerer, but we're also in the Lion's Gate portal, as well as the numerology for today is a Master 22 number. And if you break it down to a 4 and a 4 year. So we're going to talk about all these little dynamics, and then we're going to try to figure out how to do the meditation around that. So just bear with me. So the Sorcerer, it's interesting because when I look at the Sorcerer, right, and in tarot it's considered the magician. I think of the magician card, where it's like you have all these tools and you're learning how to handle it, and you're learning how to work with all the elements and all these other things. So, and by the way, I'm going to put in the comment section the links to some of these blogs that I'm going to be referencing. So what comes to mind when I think of the Sorcerer is I think of how we are responding. I'm thinking about the past few days, especially how we're responding to the old belief systems and what is truth, what is not true. Especially in politics, this party lining, and understanding that if we look at both sides, for instance, you'll find that in the core, what I'm seeing is that we believe a lot of the same things, we want a lot of the same things, and people just want to get stuck in certain belief systems and hardlined. And that's the same thing around the COVID issue, and it's the same thing with the coming election and all these external events. And so what I want to say to you, and the other aspect is also the desire that I keep seeing people say, I just want it to return to normal. I want to go back to the way it was. Here's the thing. This is the new normal. We are evolving. There is no going back. Okay? So when we look at the 22 number influence, and the sooner we can accept this, the easier it is to see how we can move forward. So this is what the Sorcerer is bringing up. The Sorcerer is actually bringing up a lot of the shadow aspect in our lives. But the 22 number can help us turn those things around. So it's considered a master builder number. And when we add it together, we think of, well, for 2020, I see it as a work number. But you want to think like practicality, and you want to think about how we bring things down to earth in the material form, things in the spiritual world. So you want to think of like expansive plans and things like that. But if we get too out here and we're not grounded and balanced, the 22 can also amplify things and shrink down our own ambition, causing it difficult, this whole difficult internal pressure, which I call it like the pressure cooker effect. So it's like we get this internal pressure cooker, and let me tell you, I'm feeling it too. So we're not alone in this. So, and I'm not immune to experiencing these things. The difference is when you acknowledge it, it's what you do with it, right? I think I posted yesterday, it's like we're either in a pile of caca, going into a pile of caca, or we're in a pile of caca. The difference is what do we do with it? How do we move forward from it? So what the 22 is reminding us is how to work towards the realization of our goals or what we would like, but from a soul purpose, not a egoic human purpose, right? That goals that are larger than what our personal ambitions are. So this is about the bigger scheme of things. So this is about how do we serve the world in a practical way. So what comes to mind there are things like stewardship, and it goes to a lot of the teachings that we have in our Jikun and Reiki training, which is about ego destruction, and it's about stewardship and how humans are the most evolved. And this is not so much the Jikun, but the foundation of the Jikun teachings is a lot of Shintoism, which is the Japanese indigenous teachings, okay? So it's about the stewardship, and if humans are the most evolved beings, is that we have a huge responsibility for all life forms, not just what we want, not just for our family, not just for what humans want out of greed and whatever, pillage and all these other things, rape and mean and all these other things, but it's about how we become stewards for all life, right? And so that way we have equal balance and equilibrium, homeostasis. It's about bringing the balance in the material, trusting the instincts, and being able to trust the instincts to identify areas where our efforts are most needed. So we're going to begin in this Lion's portal, if you haven't been experiencing it already, some profound insights, if not some very vivid prophetic type dreams. And it's about applying that into what our responsibility is to direct them into something valuable, something that's true and meaningful for the greater good. Again, not just for you or me or our family or our fellow humans, but for all life on earth. So this is what I have learned from a lot of the Shinto-based stuff. And I don't study Shintoism, but we do go into it in the Jikun and Reiki training. So good morning, Monica. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Heather, Joan, and Heather. Nice to see you all. So if you're not sure, or if you didn't read, or you need a refresher on the 4, because when you add the 22 together, it does bring into a 4. That's a work year. So I have 2 blogs that I posted in January that, if you haven't read them, that goes into talking about it being a work year, and it's about clearing out the karmic stuff. And I can post the links after the broadcast with that if you would like. Now it's interesting because I also, since I figured I'd look at the numerology, the number on this card is number 48. So again, here's the 4 and the 8, but when you add them together, it's the 12, right? So the 4 we already talked about. The 8, I always think of the infinity, right? The continuation of life, right? Like even like we don't die, we just evolve, we change, right? We morph. So energy can't be created nor destroyed. Good morning, Patty. I hope you're feeling better. But yet also prosperity. So this is about change, and when we add it together, it's a 12. So when I think of the number 12, I think of like the end of the calendar, right? I think of completion. It's also the sign, for those of you who follow like a Pisces, it's also linked to the astrological sign Pisces, which is the spiritual sign that is in constant touch with a lot of the energies that are in the universe. So I am a Pisces, by the way. So this is probably why I'm so sensitive to like space weather and solar stuff, and I follow that more than I do astrology. So, and then we look at the 1 that makes up the 12, right? When that, I think of beginning, but also the ending. It's a singular in the nature of the universe, but it's also relative and related to that completion, because it's that transition period. Again, going back to the Magician card, right? In tarot. So, and the 2 is about seeing the yin and the yang. It's the balance, but it's also seeing 2 sides to any situation. It's also about diplomacy, partnership. So this is hugely crucial. We're going into very intense political times right now in this country. So this is about seeing, like, your answer may not necessarily be the right answer. I saw this thing about these doctors that were posted from a very controversial site, and just to be clear, I don't talk about politics usually on this, but I'm not a Trump supporter and I'm not a Breitbart supporter, but it doesn't mean that what they were sharing wasn't true. I can see the manipulation of what they were doing, but here's the thing, there's half-truths, right? So and what these doctors, some of them were saying, are very clear what we've been experiencing in our medical office. So I'm not going to go into political stuff, but just to kind of show you, it's like, well, they're not necessarily wrong, but they're not necessarily right? So it's seeing things and always going within and checking and seeing, because again, it's those instincts, right? It's trusting those instincts and where they're coming from. And so the 12 is an opportunity here. So this is why I'm bringing up politics, only because I can see the intensity. Like, there's a huge divide that's even growing stronger, and people are, instead of trying to reach out and hold your neighbor's hand regardless of religion, ethnicity, political views, we are getting divided by certain people, and it's on both sides. So the 12 is showing us that this is the opportunity to turn a new leaf, to wrap up old certain stuff before moving forward. It allows us to get our own affairs in order, because we can't see the truth if we get stuff in our own shadows that are blocking us from seeing these truths, right? We are the co-creator of our karma. So the Sorcerer is really about, here's the thing, This is about the sorcerer is forcing us to go into those shadow aspects of ourselves. The sorcerer is that destructive aspect of the human psyche. So this is probably why I brought up the politics, right? Because this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this divide. Like, and even in the town of Hingham where I live, we had this protest, but I heard it got really brutal. And so all these things that are being manipulated, okay? So it symbolizes the beliefs and the ideas that foster separation. It fosters fear and conflict and scarcity. So the sorcerer is entering into our circle today, and we're being called to look at not what everybody else is doing that you don't agree with, but to look at our own belief systems around all this, the stuff that's in our shadows, the stuff that we don't want to look at, the stuff that maybe we don't like, those traits that are about ourselves, that are maybe around scarcity or fear, that are manifesting into our world as we speak. So this is about examining that destructive part. Like, are we showing up triggered, or are we mastering the calmness in the storm? Okay, because if you're mastering the calmness in the storm, then you probably can teach me some things, okay? But the chances are we're not. So we're showing up triggered, we're showing up reactive, and that stuff that's coming in out of our shadows, instead of showing up centered and showing up mastering that calmness. So this is about examining all those parts and how maybe we're misusing that, and maybe harboring some anger, harboring resentment, right? Harboring vengeance, you know. Maybe there's a lot of worry or fear and like, oh, I'm going to get you. And you may say, but I don't like that part of myself, right? Well, here's the thing. I don't care who we are. We all have that dark side of ourselves. And until we can make peace with that, until we can bring the light into the darkness, or until the darkness into the light, where the darkness doesn't control us anymore, okay, subconsciously. When it's in the conscious, at least we know how to work with it. When it's coming out of the subconscious or unconscious, we're out of control, okay? So this is about owning that aspect. Maybe we have forgotten that all beings are interconnected, right? We may not like I know there's a lot of people that love Trump, and then there are those that don't love Trump, for instance, right? And if you don't like him, what is it within you that is triggering that response? And that includes myself. So understand that we're all connected, that each person plays a role in the light and the darkness. So the sorcerer is showing up to challenge us and to challenge our thoughts, that we are given a second chance to change our course and practice not blaming others for the darkness that actually resides within us. This is about making peace within it and within it all. And then this is how we actually start mastering the calmness within the storm. Okay? This is about mastering that. So, is that all making sense to you all? Good morning, Jennifer. So, and I apologize, I've got this little one here who's been driving me nuts. That's why I'm a little late today. So this is about feeling, you know, if you've been feeling out of sorts. So, look at this thing. Hey, you. So, out of sorts, right? So, that maybe, and it's including me, like yesterday, I had to really go within because I was being triggered and I was actually having not so good thoughts. I've been having a lot of things personally come at me, both with both parents who don't even live together, both having extreme health issues, frustration with the healthcare system in New Hampshire with my mother, not being able to see her, not being able to get updates, and them trying to force somebody with dementia to live on their own. And then I'm fostering animals that I need to untrain. All at the same time. I had a flood in my office, all at the same time, and the puppy chews the microphone, which is why I still got this other thing going, because I just haven't had a chance to deal with it, and I am okay with all of that. So today, I even put out there, I'm going, you know what, after today, I have a couple meetings this morning, I'm going to spend 3 hours, and I'm going to go to the beach, or I'm going to go to the park, before I come back into the office, to give myself extra self-care, put my feet in the ocean, and just be like, to unplug for a good 3 hours. And I don't care, I'm not answering the phone, I don't care if I haven't returned emails in 3 days. This is what I need to get myself so I can show up for the rest of the world, right? So the medicine here is about tapping into that, and it's about radical self-acceptance, and that includes the shadows that we keep running from. Let me tell you, because this is a work year, if you keep running and avoiding the hard shadow stuff, it's just going to get harder. It's going to get harder until we get it. So the sooner we can reconcile these darker aspects that are within us and that are within our nature, then, and then we don't, the sooner we do that, then we're not acting out. We're not acting even irresponsibly. And then we're not causing more harm. So we actually create more balance and equilibrium. I correlate it to like the storm wall trying to stop a storm siege. Well, it works temporarily, but eventually the ocean wins, taking out the storm wall. And not only that, but it carves the sand away from the earth back into it, reclaims the land. So this is what we're at. It's a time to come out of the denial and accept the responsibility. These are the times, my friends. So are you ready to harness some of maybe the darker aspects? And I'm feeling maybe working with some dragon energy this morning in the meditation portion to help us do that. When we can take responsibility, but I find bringing in dragon energy helps us, gives us the strength and the courage to face these hard aspects of ourselves that maybe we feel shame around, right? Instead of acceptance. So is that making sense to you? And would that be something going in for the next 10 or 15 minutes, working in with some dragon energy with the meditation? So I know it's some hard things, but sometimes, you know me, if we don't get real and raw, then it's hard for us to get into the light. We can't be in the light all the time, but we can shine the light into the darkness. Right? The light shines the brightest in the darkness. And this is where we're at. It's about shining that in there. So, is that making sense? Do you guys all feel like some dragon energy moving forward? Yes? No? Let me know. Comment in the comments below. And while you're at it, see where your energy's at today. Because I know my lymphatic system is taking a huge beating right now. And that's where I'm feeling it. And so that's why I feel like the need for extra self-care and unplugging because of the things that I have to deal with and I must deal with. And so we're all facing this together. So and I know we have a delay in the live feed, so I just want to make sure that we're in. Okay. So let's start off in Gasso. Position. Okay. Bring on the dragon. Here we go. Okay. So let's start off. Now the Gasso comes from a lot, even though it's in the Jikin and Reiki teachings, it's also rooted in the Shinto teachings. So if this stuff calls to you, the next class probably won't be until November. So, and depending on where COVID is, we might be restricting the size of the classes still. So I would highly encourage you to learn that for your own self-care. All right, here we go. Kyo dakiwa ikarona shinpai suna. Kanchaste, Gyo Hagame, Itoni Shinsetsuni, Kyo Dakiwa, Ikaruna, Shinpai Suna, Kanchaste, Gyo Hagame, Itoni Shinsetsuni, Kyo Dakiwa, Ikaruna, Shinpai Suna, Kanchaste, Gyo Hagame, Itoni Shinsetsuni. Find yourself in a comfortable spot, taking in the breath, bringing in that breath into the womb, into your power center, breathing in, breathing out. With the next breath, bring it into the power center again. Feel it churn. Feel it fire up like you're firing up the furnace, just like the belly of the dragon. And just feel it churn. And with the next exhale out the mist and the fog. With this mist and fog, see it move in, through, and around you, swirling, bringing in all the things that are unseen, that needs to be seen, all the things that you need to hear that maybe you can't hear, to be able to sense what needs to be sensed, to feel what needs to feel. bringing that breath in and churning it and breathing out again, letting that mist infiltrate in, through, and around you. Feeling yourself centered, feeling yourself grounded, yet vulnerable, and able to receive all that is and all that shall be for your highest and best, no matter what is revealed in the depths of the shadows within, which are also residing in the power center that might need to be cracked open. Calling in the energies of the sorcerer to help us see what's in the shadows that needs to be seen. Do you need to make peace? Do you need to love those parts that maybe you hurt another, or maybe another hurt you? The next breath, feeling the presence of the dragon in the darkness, moving out and in, through, and around you into the mist. And as you're breathing, feeling the dragon coming through and appearing itself to you, asking for permission to reveal itself, asking for permission for its wisdom and its guidance. Asking for permission to give you the strength. Putting your hands out in vulnerability and allowing the dragon to reveal itself. Is it small or is it large? Does it have scales or feathers or fur? What color is it? Asking the dragon and the sorcerer combined together, what is it that's in the shadows or in the darkness that is preventing you from being all that you came here to be? What is it that is preventing you from being in your full power? Allowing to emerge whatever needs to emerge from the depths of the shadows. Knowing that the dragon is here to give you the strength. It is here to shield you. The breath of the dragon burns away and churns all that no longer serves you, all that is resistant. Seeing it blaze a path. Knowing that the dragon has your back. The dragon is an ally. It is fierce. It is strong. Its magic is powerful. Shall be. Trusting that whatever is given to you at this time is what it's meant to be. Whether you get a clear vision or you don't, that is okay. You may have gotten information with the aha moment, or you might still be processing it all. All is where it's supposed to be, as it is supposed to be. Honoring the path, honoring the journey, honoring all that is. Breathing in and breathing out. Thanking the dragon, thanking the sorcerer for guiding us today, for guiding us and showing what is, for being us strength. Thanking our great mother, our Father, Son. Thanking the soul within for choosing this path and choosing these lessons so we may evolve for our highest and best. Thanking the ancestors for holding us, guiding us, and lighting the path for us to see. Breathing in and breathing out. And when you're ready, breathing in, seeing the dragon fade into the mist and the sorcerer fade back into the mist. With the exhale, exhale out your hands and your feet, connecting to all that is, all that's interconnected. With the next inhale breath, feeling that energy, bringing that mist and that fog, breathing that back into our power center, knowing that the dragon and the sorcerer are easily accessible. Breathing in and feeling it churn, thanking all the lessons. Breathing out the hands and feet, tapping into the power, tapping into all that is. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes, move your hands, move your feet. And put in the comments where you're at. Let me know. And taking your time. And while we're waiting, I'm also considering doing a 1-hour version of meditation. So I'm curious to see who is interested in once a week doing a 1-hour version that would be a paid event. So I'd be curious to see who would be open to this. We'd be creating, since Zoom still is wonky, we'd probably be doing this through a separate Facebook chat room. And it would be by paid subscribers. So let me know if that is an interest to you in the comments. And maybe if there's enough interest, then maybe I will be putting together a poll to make sure it's going to be worth a while to do it. So wow, that was powerful for me. And my images involve my dad, dragon, and the ocean. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Heather. So let me know if that is something that interests you. And if we do have enough interest in it, we'd probably be doing it either, most likely like on a Tuesday morning. That way it doesn't conflict with the other days, or Thursday morning. So if that is of an interest, say yes to 1 hour or something, so I know that that's what you're commenting on. So in the comments. So But anyway, I thank you. Check in with your energy. Let's see where you're at. Where's your energy at right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very low, which would be like anger, worry, fear type of situations, 10 being high vibration, meaning like joy, gratitude. So where are you on the 1 to 10 scale right now? And where's your balance? You know, is it, in the top, the bottom? Is it centered? Is it towards the front? Is it towards the back? Is it towards the left? Is it towards the right? Where's your balance? So I'm open to the 1 hour. It's all based on timing with work and my rugrats. I hear you. I just felt the waves of the ocean needing that kind of medicine as well. Beautiful. Well, thank you all for being here, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday. And Lord of the Rings dragon battling a cute How to Tame Your Dragon's Dragon. Awesome. Love it. Love it, love it. So thank you all for being here, and I will see you Friday. Have a good day, everybody.